Yeah, so I was really disappointed, and also then how it was ending with the training then with the under 23s. I take my shoes on, when I take my shoes on, I put my earphones back, and I'm listening to Backstreet Boys because that makes me feel like relaxed, and that always when we play, I had the feeling it's not the question of if we score. It was just a question of when we score. Angus Gunn was staying next to me, and then he and the Norwich supporters, they started to sing my song, and he asked me, "Do you understand what they are singing?" And I said, "I have no clue. I have no idea." So and then he explained to me what they were singing. Anyhow, we will meet again one day, and because it was just a bummer that I couldn't say probably anyhow goodbye, because I gave everything I had on the pitch, and then to get the message, you're not allowed anymore to train with the first team was I was very disappointed.
Hello and welcome to another exclusive edition of the TNC podcast. I am beyond pumped to get stuck into this yellow and green conversation today. I've been wanting this one for a long time. 80 appearances, 5 goals, 1 glorious championship title, an outrageous performance against Leeds United. He is our midfield maestro. Oh, he never gives the ball away.
Chris. Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, matey. How are you doing? How's life over in Germany right now?
Yeah, it's all in all very good. A warm, hot day today. No, everything is fine. Thank you very much. The family is good. The little one, I'm well also. So everything is good. Thank you very much. Yeah, and thank you for having me today.
It's a pleasure. It's been a long time coming, and that leads me nicely on to the first point, TT, which is, of course, you're not the first Trybull to come on the Talk Norwich City podcast. Of course, Anna had an appearance herself whilst you were still playing at the club. What I really want to, I've never actually asked you this, mate. What was it like? What was it like watching that? And did you feel a bit worried about that? Because that was the first time I think anyone has ever interviewed a footballer's wife, so to speak.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, sort of watching that? Were you nervous?
No, not really. I wasn't also not worried because I knew, Anna is always doing a good job and everything. She deserves everything. So we have to be honest. Without Anna, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't have played for Norwich, for example. I wouldn't have this kind of career. So for me it was fine. That you put Anna first of all in the show and made the TNC podcast with her. It was absolutely okay for me, and I also really enjoyed it. So and I know also. And I know also from her, she really liked it to be with you guys, and she had a really good time. And I think she has also a lot of, or she had a lot of stuff to tell to the people, to speak about. And obviously, it was a different perspective in comparison to a player. How players are seeing some situations or life in football in general. So I think she did a really good job, and I should also say, warm regards from her today to you guys, to you and Jack, and
Mate, I am forever grateful. Genuinely, Anna did a fantastic job. And for anyone that's not watched that podcast, I would wholeheartedly recommend that you do, because we really made an effort to break the stigma, to interview a woman on the show, which was incredible, and to understand, as you've said there, TT, what's it like from a family's perspective, because there's so much pressure on you guys. So I'm very grateful, and do send my love and regards to Anna and the family as well. And speaking of Anna, yet again, another thing I wanted to bring up, Tom, and I forgot about this until I was researching before we did this podcast today. and I completely forgot that you guys actually donated a lot of money to charity, £10,000 in fact. Now, this was particularly important for me to bring up because it's not very often that you see a footballer not only really enjoy their time at the club, but also really embed themselves and give back to the community at the scale in which you did it. Why did you do that? Why did you choose to donate that much money to those Norfolk charities?
Yeah, so first of all, when Anna wrote the book, and we made a little bit shenanigans, or not really shenanigans. So it was like, so what will happen if we sell these couple of books? How much money we will get, and it was not like, or immediately that was from the first moment. It was like, okay, the money is not for us. So it's like just Anna wants to share the story, or our adventure, basically, with the people out there, and to give them something back. And if we can get on top of it some money, we would like to do something good with it. We want to help people. So because we are very blessed, we have a really good life, and so at least we can give something back with the money to the people who really need it, and I think especially these two organizations, these two charities with the Age UK, and the East Anglian Children's Hospice. I think these two generations. So one of them is our future, the kids, obviously, and the other ones, the age. Yeah, they also, it's like these people are most of the times or very vulnerable, and it was during a time of where the pandemic came out, and so we decided, okay, we want to spend the money to these two charities, and especially I always had in my mind, so my parents, or my grandparents, they need help also for my family members, because they are not so mobile anymore. They need any help they can get, and that's why we decided to spend some money at one point for the future, and at one point to the vulnerable ones who were always a good role model for us, and to raise us, and I think this is what we also did in the past. So I can remember there was a situation in Norwich when we came in 2017, and in the city there's a place where you can see a lot of homeless people, and Anna and me, we went out for food, and I saw all these people on the street, and also some people who served already some food to the homeless people. And I said, you know what, Anna? Or we decided together, come on, let's buy some food. We bought some pizzas, and also gave them to the people. And it's always something, or not always, but most of the times we doing if we see people where we think we can help them, or we can make this situation, this moment, a little bit better for them, to give them a little smile on their face. And this is nothing what you get, nothing really back, but the most important thing you get back is the smile, and how thankful people are. And this is something which you can't buy with any money. And this is I think this is Anna and me, we think this is at least something we can do.
Honestly, Tom, on behalf of all of the people that won't ever have the chance to say thank you to you, I will say thank you. I really appreciate all of that lovely, good stuff that you and Anna did. I really appreciate it. And as I say, particularly for the vulnerable and needing people in Norfolk. So thank you so much. TT, let's kick things off properly, and
Yes.
let's talk about that year that you've already mentioned there, 2017. Something interesting happens, because if I'm right in saying you originally joined the club on a trial, but how did that all work out? How did you join the football club?
Yeah, so then I have to tell you the story from the beginning. So
Yeah.
I went for 2016. I went to Holland, and I signed a deal for 1 year. And so I played most of the games, and they wanted to extend my contract. But I said no. I wanted to go for a new challenge, and I think I'm ready for it, and I want to try. And I couldn't imagine, to be honest, to go to England. I was hoping during this time maybe I will find a better club in Holland, or I will go back to Germany, maybe. So I was open-minded, but I couldn't imagine to go to England. And then during this time, so Daniel Farke became a coach in Norwich, obviously. And the first few transfers he made was Mario Frančić, obviously Super Mario, and also Marcel Franke, the
Yeah.
big, tall center back. And then I know that Daniel Farke was talking to Marcel Franke and was asking him, yeah, because I played together with Marcel at
Oh,
the former
right.
club in Germany. And so he asked him, yeah, what do you think about Tom? What kind of personality he has, and everything like this. And Marcel said, yeah, he's a good guy, and obviously he can play a little bit of football. He's not too bad. And then okay. So, but nothing really happened at the beginning, because they wanted to transfer another player, but more like a position number 8. He can play. He's not really like a holding midfielder. But yeah, I knew that they wanted to go for someone else. But he decided to extend anyhow his contract with his current club. And then my agent was talking to Norwich, and they said, yeah, okay, we are pretty late now in a summer transfer window, because the season obviously was ending in end of May during this time, and the new season was like, I don't know, was starting in August or something, or end of August. I don't know anymore. So, but it was pretty late. So, and I was without team training or first team training for a longer period, because I was trying to stay fit on my own. I was training on my own because I knew I have to prepare when it's time to get the chance that I'm in a good shape. So, and then my agent was talking to Norwich, and they said, okay, we want to see. We heard some good things, but we want to see if he's good enough, and especially if he's fit enough now to help us or to support us, immediately. And so they said, okay, let's do a trial. And I was I was so self-confident that I was ready for it, and said, okay, you want to see me on the trial? I will go there and grab the chance, and I will do everything what is necessary to show them or to prove them that I'm ready to play in England and for Norwich City. And
I think
that's the story.
I think that shit is fascinating, TT. I never knew that you had a good report from Marcel Franke, and it's fascinating that the whole trial thing is really interesting. And we spoke to Anna about this on the podcast with her about your experience with trials before. But as you know, that's very rare in football. Footballers, from what I understand, and the footballers that I've spoken to, they're like, trial? I'm not having a trial. But yet you were like, no, do you know what? I'm going to prove myself. So what gave you that attitude? Why were you just so happy to just do a trial?
Because it's basically, for me, it's easy to answer this question, because at the beginning of my career, everything was easy for me, to be honest. I was 18, or I was playing with 17 in a third league, which is also very strong in Germany. I played in the center back position, for example, second part of the season, and we won promotion to the second league in Germany. And obviously then I turned 18 and I got a good offer from Werder Bremen. You know, they played for a long time Champions League, a big club during this time in Germany. And so I had the chance to become a Bundesliga player, you know, or to make some experience on this level. And so it was easy. It was one flow, you know. It was just going up, and then after a couple of months with Werder Bremen, for example, I was playing in the Bundesliga. So out of nowhere, so where people say, "How is that possible?" This guy came from out of nowhere, and he's playing in the Bundesliga. I was doing good, and but this manager during this time, he said like, yeah, Tom Trybull, he could play for Barcelona, these kind of things, you know. But from this time on, everything was from going up, was going downstairs, to be honest, you know, because the expectations were so high, and I was struggling also with injuries, you know. So I recovered from one injury, then I had another one, and it was very difficult. So and then I went to the second league in Germany. I didn't play, you know, and then at one point, together with Anna, we had to make a decision. So I have to leave Germany. I have to go abroad to kickstart again my football career. Anyhow, to start from zero basically, and to work hard, and to get back where I want to be, where I want to belong. And this started obviously in Holland then during this time, where I went on a trial also in a first league, and did a trial, and they decided, okay, yeah, of course we want to take him, so immediately. And from this point on, I decided, okay, it's not like, you know, I think some footballers, they think, okay, it's always nice if the club calls you and they say, okay, we want to have Tom, for example, we want to get this player, how much money you want, what is the fee, the transfer fee, no problem at all. But you know, I had so many setbacks before I came to Norwich, that I decided, or I have to grab my chance on my own. If it's there, I have to grab it. I have to work hard for it. And like I said, in the beginning of my career, everything was like, it was easy for me to settle, to play, you know, to get compliments. Oh, he's such a big talent, and this and that. But then, or not immediately, but after 2-3 years, I saw the other side, you know, of being a professional football player, with injuries and struggling to get game time, you know. And that was for me the turnaround, that I decided, okay, you know what? If it's not like that life will be easy for me and these kind of things, then I have to do it on my own. I have to grab it. I have to work for it, and this is what I did, and this is what I'm still doing, to be honest, because it's never easy. Or it was never easy since a couple of years for me. So that's it.
Sure. No, it's interesting, Tom. It's fascinating that you should say that. I'm going to take a gear change now, TT, which is now music. That's right. We're going to talk about music. Three music-related questions coming up for you. First of all, did you have an initiation song at Norwich City where you had to sing in front of everyone?
Yes, I had. Yes, I did it. It was against when I was in the squad for the first time against Millwall away. Yeah, 2017, obviously. Yeah.
And what was it?
It was a German song. It was a German song. You don't know. You don't know.
Just a random popular German song.
Yes. He's a German legend, and it's a proper German song. So you can't. You will not know.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's better like this. And it's better.
Okay, fine. I won't make you sing it. Second one is, do you know what a karaoke bar is?
Yes, of course I do. Yeah.
If you were to walk into a karaoke bar, what song would you sing and why?
Yeah, of course I would sing maybe a proper German song, like I did in the past when I in Norwich, for example, because it's always easy. Everyone can join, you know, at the karaoke bar, and you will get the people on your side. And yeah, probably I would do a proper German song, you know, like yeah, where it's easy for everyone to join. But yeah. But I can tell you, when when I went to Blackburn on loan, I had to sing as well, and I was singing Wonderwall. And
Oh, really?
Benno was telling me that was the quickest Wonderwall I have ever seen. So yeah, my music skills are very bad and very limited, to be honest.
Benno, what a man Benno is! What a man.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But TT, I know. So what sort of genre of music are you into? Because I think I once had a conversation with you or Anna that you actually quite liked a bit of house music. Is that true?
Yeah, so I'm listening to everything basically,
Yeah.
which is good. And when I think it fits to my current mood, for example, I'm open-minded for everything. If it's English rap, if it's house, if it's hip hop, if it's proper German music, also sometimes. I'm not focusing on just on one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
on one thing.
pre-match for a big game.
Pre-match.
What
Yeah.
genre of music have you got in the headphones?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. Backstreet Boys.
You've got to be joking me. What?
No, I'm honest with you. I'm
What,
honest with
Tom?
you.
You're joking me.
No, because I'm not listening to music anymore, and also during my time in Norwich, I was listening a little bit to hip hop and this and that. Okay,
Yeah.
so on my way to the stadium, but then I took my earphones out, and then there's always some music in the dressing room, and I'm doing my kind of things, my stuff, and when I take my shoes on. When I take my shoes on, I put my earphones back and
Yeah.
I'm listening to Backstreet Boys because that makes me feel like relaxed, and that 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 remembers me. So football is important, but it's still what you should enjoy, and you like to do, and not just work. You know what I mean?
Tom, I everyone thinks you're like this warrior, this big,
Yeah.
aggressive, bloodthirsty tackler in midfield, but you're listening
Yeah.
to the blooming Backstreet Boys. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and that's it. What I told you, I'm not focusing on one thing, like hip hop or something. So, and Backstreet Boys, everyone knew that. And it's my mood, I can still focus, and I still can look very focused, and aggressive, or I don't know, call it whatever you want. But this helps me to remember. Okay, you should enjoy what you are doing, and not only see it from the point of hard work or something. It's why you started, because you love the game. And
Okay.
So I love to.
You're a
I
big
love it.
you're a big Backstreet Boys fan. There you go. I really didn't expect to get that out of you in this
Yeah.
podcast. Let's talk about your chant now. Of course, the Super Tommy Trybull chant. When was the first time you heard it, and what was it like listening to 27,000 Norwich fans belting that out at you?
Yeah, first of all, it's incredible to have a song like this. But I can remember in the beginning, when I came to Norwich, then at one point the supporters, they started to sing sometimes my name, and I didn't realize what's going on, because I just came abroad to England couple of months ago, and how you want to know. So it takes a little bit time till you realize what's going on in the stands, and then we played away against Ipswich, and we won 2-0, I think, because of a goal from Madison. And then we went to the stands, to the Norwich supporters, and Angus Gunn was staying next to me. And then he and the Norwich supporters, they started to sing my song, and he asked me, "Do you understand what they are singing?" And I said, "I have no clue. I have no idea." So, and then he explained to me what they were singing during this time, and I said, "Okay, that's cool, that's nice." And then from this point on, always when people started to sing my song in the stands, it was just like goosebumps. I'm still getting goosebumps, because it's nice, and it shows a little bit that you have a lot of sympathy around the club, around the people, with the people, and that what you are doing is can't be too bad, and yeah, isn't that bad.
And of course, it wasn't a bad start, Tom, because you scored on your debut. For God's sake, that's absolutely incredible. What do you remember of that game? It was Charlton Athletic in the cup, wasn't it? That must be a really nice moment for you to score on your debut.
Yeah, it's like, football is always sometimes it's so weird because I'm not the player who scores a lot, and then I came to Norwich, made my first game, or I came on as a substitute, I think, and I was a little bit, not nervous, but a little bit, you want to do good, obviously, on your debut. You want to have a good you want to show a good performance. You want to have a good impression at home, especially. And then I was anyhow up front and scored my first goal. And this was a little bit the kickstart for my time at Norwich. Anyhow, I had the feeling because you came here, you grabbed your chance, and now you even scored. So yeah, what else you want to know? Or come on, let's keep going, and I wanted to have more. I wanted to be a part of this team, and I want to have a crucial impact. And that I scored also on my debut, was simply great. But I also knew that is not normal for me. So calm down a little bit with the expectations, because you are not a goal scorer, to be honest. But yeah, it's always nice to score anyhow, and especially it was good that we won the game, and I got my first minutes under my belt, and I was very pleased, to be honest. Was very pleased during this time. Yeah, it was good.
Let's talk about that first season, TT. It was a funny old season, wasn't it? It was. Obviously, Madison was there. We were sort of up and down. We were sort of floating around the sort of bottom end of the table for a while, and the season sort of fizzled out. And my question to you is, at that stage, if someone had said to you, next season you are going to demolish the league, what would you have done?
Yeah, obviously I couldn't. I wouldn't believe it. So I wouldn't believe it because I'm not, in general, not the kind of person who's looking too much at the future. Because I'm just living what is going on now, here and now, and during this time, especially the first season. I think obviously, which is normal in football, or at least most of the times, that if you bring in a new coach, a lot of new players, also from abroad, it takes a little bit. It takes a while till you figure out how things are working, because each little thing needs to get in. We it took time that we work properly together, and I think especially in the first season you could see, we showed a lot of times some good, or not a lot, but a lot of times some good performances, but the cutting edge anyhow was missing, and I can remember, especially in the beginning, we were struggling anyhow. We were in position 16, 17, maybe 15 or something, and always when we had the chance, then after a while to make another step a little bit closer to the playoffs in the first season, we missed the chance, to be honest. And this was part of the progress anyhow. And I think after the first season, you could see, with the beginning anyhow, after a couple of games at the second season, the progress is now, it's done basically. And from this point on, everyone knew what to do, where to go, how to run, how to play. It was like a running machine, it was like easy. But the first year, I think, was important also for a lot of players to adapt to the championship, and that's why we were very successful in the second part, or on the second season.
So go on then, let's talk about it. We have to, and of course we will talk about one particular game, but just, Tom, try to summarize 2018-19, because that is probably the most memorable season of my lifetime. I know it'll be the season that lifelong Norwich City fans will will be talking about forevermore. They'll be passing on, tales of Tommy Trybull versus Leeds to their grandkids. And why, like what I said this to Mary Vrancic as well on our podcast that we did with him recently. What was the secret to success? Like, why, in your opinion, did that team just click, just create so many magical performances time after time that season?
Like I said, I think the first season was a good start in terms of that we all, or most of us, that we adapt to English football and to the championship. And what was pretty good, that also the club didn't lose the nerves and that they stick to the coach, because with his philosophy during this time, it was very unique in the championship, the way he wanted to play. And I think you could see already in the first season what we are trying to do. But like I said, most of the time the cutting edge was missing a little bit, the final pass or the final chance, And in the second season, it was the progress from the first one was like, okay, now it's like, even when we were back, for example, 1-0 or 2-0, we had the confidence, okay, we will turn this around. But the key was basically what we did in the first season already was like how we trained, and how we continued in a second season, for example, all the details, in terms of defending, in terms of especially when we have the ball, how we create chances, how we play through opponents. And this was everything that was the result of how we trained and how we worked at the training ground, to be honest. It's not like that this will happen overnight, because when people ask me about your time in Norwich, what was the difference or why was it so special? It was like always when we played, I had the feeling it's not the question of if we score, it was just a question of when we score. Because I always had the feeling we had we were creating one chance after another, and this group was so unique. And it was just like, it was like a running machine. It was like everyone knew what to do, when to do, how to do. It was crazy. Honestly, it was like a machine. It was honestly, I'm still, I'm so over the moon, and I speak about this time because it was just fun. It was just enjoyable to train and to play these kind of games, because it was high quality during this time, to be honest.
You speak the words crazy. You speak the words machine. Now, Tom Trybull, big question I'm going to ask you on this podcast over all of them. What did you have for breakfast the day before you single-handedly destroyed Leeds at Ellen Road? What did you eat for breakfast that day? You were ridiculous.
Yeah, so to be honest, nothing special. Maybe it was still because of my music of the Backstreet Boys. I don't know. No, but these kind of games. It's like also when we played Sheffield. Of course, this game was special, but I don't want to praise myself. But I had also other really good games against Sheffield United at home or away. So. This game was just, everything was working. So each duel, each 1-against-1, each tackle was there. It was like, it's always like either if you do a slide tackle, you win the ball or you don't. And just a question of timing, and one step sometimes can make such a big difference in football. And doing at this time or at this day, everything was working. So. And it's nice to get a lot of praise for this game, but there were also some other games where I think I did a good job, especially in this season, and where we got some crucial points. But the Leeds game was very special. I'm not sure about the situation, how it was. I think Leeds was first during this time.
Yeah, they were top.
On top, no, they were on top. And we were at the second place, right? And then obviously we won and we took over the first place, I think, right? Yeah. So, and this game was, okay, if you want to achieve something special, if you want to get the automatic promotion, then okay, this game today could be crucial. And I think everyone did an amazing job, like Mario said in your recent podcast. So everything was doing well from the back to the front. Substitutes was such a great day, And like I said, even like if they tried everything when we parked the coach on the other side, had to walk through the away stands anyhow over the whole pitch, but yeah, it's fine. And I can remember everyone was talking about Leeds and the special style what they had, but we had also a special style, and at the end we got won the game.
Tom, but I'm not letting you dodge the question. The question was, what did you have for breakfast? Go on. What did you eat before that game? Because there'll be people wanting to play like Tom Trybull versus Leeds.
I'm never, to be honest, I never eat much before a game because
Okay.
I feel a little bit heavy then, and I need to be like hungry, hungry
Okay.
for the opponent.
So it was literally basically next to nothing, and you just had
porridge a little bit. I always ate porridge before the
Ooh.
game a little bit, and that's it. I think it was an evening game, right? So yeah, then I had for my last meal, for example, then porridge, something not that much. I can't eat pasta before the game. It's I don't like it. So a lot of people can do. I don't like it, and yeah, but yeah, was something special.
Porridge is the secret recipe. There you go.
Yes, exactly. Nothing special, like I said. Nothing special.
Tom, I have to ask you though, like, there was something about Leeds, and particularly you against Leeds, where I know you've mentioned slide tackles, but they were particularly meaty that day. Would you say that you really wanted to make sure that you left your mark on the opposition?
No, I never go into the game with attention like this. So I always go into the game just to win it and to make a good game. Because if I play a good game, for example, this is my intention. I want to go into the game. I want to play good. I want to play very well. This is the best chance to help the team to win. So, and on this day, there was, it was just, I can't describe it. It was just like, I'm left of, I have no words for it because it's, to be honest, Chris, it's my job, I have to play good. I have to play good for the team, and on this day, like I said, everything was working. Imagine if I do a slide tackle on the midline, and I miss the ball, then everyone is saying, what is he doing? So it's always these, fine margins where you have to make a decision. And on this day, I had everything on my side, basically, in these kind of terms, and it was working pretty well.
Are you aware, Tom, that there are many Norwich City fans that will say that that was the best midfield performance that they've ever seen in their life? Are you aware of that? Like, do you understand just how good you were that day? Because you're making it out as if it's your job, mate. Come on.
But to be honest, I heard about it, of course, that when I received some messages, which is normal doing these days with social media and stuff like this. But one game is nothing, So it's like no, honestly. But I have to. It's consistency, and during this time, I played on a really. So like all of us, but I also played on a really on a high level. Like when I remember these games when we played against the other opponents who were fighting for the playoffs, So like I mentioned, Sheffield United or West Bromwich, or I don't know who played against. I can't remember anymore. It was so many games, and we had this decent run. When we played away at Middlesbrough, where we won 1-0 or something. We came back against Reading, and I also played good. So during this times, I played on a really high level, like everyone was doing, and this is where it counts. Because out of one game, imagine if we play all the last games, we play shit, and then you're not getting anything for one game. So you know what I mean? And that's why it's a little bit always the balance, not too high, not too low, in the middle anyhow. This is where you meet.
let's talk about some of your teammates, Tommy Trybull. Of course, a regular feature on these podcasts when we have a special guest like yourself is we ask them for their time, their best Norwich City 11 from their whole time at the football club. So we've got yours. I need you to lean over this way for me. Here we go.
Yes. Okay.
So
So
let's talk through it then. So first of all, a word on Timmy Krul. What a goalkeeper!
yeah, what the goalkeeper Timmy Krul. He has so much experience. Yeah, he's and now also since a couple of years a full member again of the Dutch national team. And I think he deserves every call up and to be a part of it. And also he's now, I don't know for how long, for 4 years with Norwich City, I think. And it shows how consistent he is in his performances. And what I really like on him was like he had always a good a good word in the dressing room. You always could count on him also in difficult times. And if it's for example a little bit tough, during tough times, he always had a strong opinion, and he helps with his experience. And in terms of football, also, which is very important, he with his style to play out from the back, he was a crucial part because, for example, for my position, I was most of the times I played like a holding midfielder, most of the times by myself during this season, and then our relationship was really good and really important for me as a number 6, because I need to know when to give him the opportunity to play out from the back, to
Yes.
play through lines and to overplay the pressing, for example. And that's why I choose Timmy, because he was very good with the ball on his feet and made some good decisions, and I really enjoyed to play with him.
So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by the rest of your team, and we will talk about the rest of your team. But I must say, I'm really fascinated by your defence. Everyone always. We won't compliment Max too much because everyone loves Max. Max has been a brilliant for the football club and was phenomenal since his debut against Ipswich Town. But these other 3 defenders, no one else has put in their teams before. So talk us through why you picked Christoph, Timmy Closer, and Sam BYRON.
I think Timbo, he always looks a little bit, more like a rugby or football player. I don't know, because he's such a big lad, but some people underestimate, I think, just his quality in terms of defending and in terms of leadership, because Timbo was very crucial. He gave his life on the pitch, and I think, also our relationship also, from the back, how he was talking to me to make life easier for them was very good. And I really had such a good time with him. And he's also a phenomenal lad, so off the pitch, because he's quite smart, he's quite relaxed, he always works hard and doing something extra. And
And is that the same? Is that the same for Timmy Closer? Similar sort of thing? Because what is Tim Close like behind the scenes? I'm fascinated to know from you, Tom.
So Timmy, he has always a good mood. Anyhow, I couldn't. So if I would say, if all the time I was there, for example, if I would catch him on 3 days maybe where he was in a bad mood, then it would maybe already too much. So he was always in a good mood, and so him together with Christoph, this partnership was very good, I think, because Timmy is not, so he's good against the man, obviously, otherwise you couldn't play for such a long time on such a high level. Yes, but his quality was very good when he had the ball on his feet, because his build up was very good, to start the attack from the back, to play through lines, and to find the people like Buendia or Stiepermann in the middle of the park, and that's why I think they work pretty well together. And Timmy was with his experience when he played in Germany, for example, or in the Premier League before, very important. And because if you go through the back line, there are not many people or not many players with his experience, and so no one. He's the only one. If you see Max or Christoph or Sammy, it was like Tim. He was so important. But I also have to mention on this position, it wasn't easy for me because if I go through my teammates during this time with Grant Hanley, for example, Grant is not that good with the ball like Timmy, but Grant has like his attitude and he's such a role model on and off the pitch. He always gave us everything what he has. He is leaving everything on the pitch, and even sometimes when he wasn't playing, he was a role model for everyone because he always was pushing everyone, each and every player, doing halftime in training or something. He always wanted to give everything, and his leadership is phenomenal because he is such a good guy and such a role model, especially for the younger people. Honestly, for the young players, and also I have to mention with Ben Godfrey, he played also a special part in the season where we got one promotion to the Premier League, but Timmy Klose is, I decided for Timmy because, so they all have their strengths, but at the end I decided for Timmy.
And Sam Byron, talk us through that because, of course, he's had horrific injury luck. So, why have you picked Sam?
Sammy is because we had also Jamal on the left. And got to the Premier League. But Sammy, what I loved with him was he made life easy for you in terms of he gets the ball and he takes the ball and he plays the pass, that you as his teammate also have more time to make a decision. You know what I mean? So his technique was so easy but so clean, and that I really enjoyed to play with him. I think I just played so most of my games in the Premier League. I think he was playing in the left back position, and so I really enjoyed to play with him because he made life easy for me, and he was a player who played very simple but so good, and this is what is the most difficult, in my opinion, in football, to play easy or simple, but to play good.
Tom, we could go through every single player, but we are already running out of time, and I've got so many more questions for you.
Sorry.
However, there is definitely no. It's great, mate. We're definitely going to need to run out of time. I know the Norwich fans will want this to continue on forever anyway, so don't worry about that. But a man that I do want to worry about in this team is Onel Hernandez. Like, why does he make your team? What's it like playing with Onel? And what is Onel like behind the scenes? Like, is he who we think he is?
Yeah, who we think he is. So you have to answer this question. Then you know more than I do. I don't know. So for me, he's just Onel, and Onel's a little bit crazy, but in a positive way. And this team, you can't have 11 players, and they are all the same with the same attitude, with the same character. So you have to have a good mixture, a good balance. And I think if you go through the team, if you see Buendia, Stiepermann, they like to play in the pockets. They like to receive the ball with some little passes, And then you need this one guy, who is playing on the wing. Doesn't matter who come, he takes the ball and he's fighting for each ball. And that's why I think he deserves a lot of credit, especially in this season, because he was a completely different type in comparison to Todd or to Emi, because he was such a monster. He's not that tall, but he's quite strong, and he takes on people and he's fighting for each and every ball. And especially he's so fast over the wing. He caused problem for each one, for each team. It was always dangerous. And he scored also a crucial goal against Middlesbrough, I think, where we won 1-0, which was also very important.
would you like to see Onel make his way back into this Norwich City team? Of course, he's at time of filming, he's out on loan. He'll be given a chance to impress Dean Smith. Do you hope that he will get himself back in this Norwich City team, Tom?
Yes, of course, but I think he won 2 times the title with Norwich, and he was 2 times a crucial part. And I think it's always important to have players like O'Neill in the team, because they serve something special, something extraordinary, which is important to if you want to achieve something special. And that's why I think also because of the past that he deserves again a chance with the new manager.
I agree, and I'm sure many people will in the comments. There's one man that we haven't spoken about so far, but we must, for multiple reasons. Daniel Farke, something that I think is kind of, I think that we sort of have an idea, but we don't have a complete idea.
Mm-hmm.
In that special season, what was Daniel Farke like before matches? What was he like at half time? And what was he like post-match? Describe his emotions when things were going right and wrong.
I think what I really liked was he was always calm. So most of the times he was really really calm. He always said a good he always had a good moment for the situation, what was necessary, and what we have to do. And he was very calm if we won the game, or we didn't lose that much, but especially in the beginning of the second season, it wasn't going that well in the beginning. It wasn't easy, but he stick to his plan. He stick to his philosophy, and that was very important also for us as a team, because I know a lot of managers, if it's not going well, they try to change everything, in their philosophy, and then you start with a completely new match plan. And with Daniel Farke, it was always like, we stick to the plan, we stick to what we are good in it. And also after games, when we won, there's a long way to go. We have to continue, and we always try to improve. So, and that's why, I really liked it.
Was there ever a time where Daniel Farke lost the plot, went absolutely crazy? Was there ever a time that you could remember or be willing to share?
Oh, I can't remember, to be honest. I can't remember. But there were, yes, I can remember. There was, he was sometimes going mad if we didn't reach our potential, especially in training. So,
in training, wow.
in training, where he got sometimes mad if we didn't took things too serious. And that's why after a while it was normal for us, to train on a high level, because we knew we will get the reward on the weekend. And that's why he was fuming a couple of times that we didn't take training too serious, or if you play a sloppy pass, or anyhow,
Wow.
or if you don't take the chance in training too serious, if you do any shit, then he was fuming sometimes. Yeah, that's true.
Very interesting indeed. Let's go up to the Premier League now, TT.
Yes.
You win the title, you're in the Premier League. What was the moment for you where you went, wow, I'm here, I'm in the Premier League, this is incredible? What was the moment that you'll always remember?
Yeah, so the games you played against Liverpool, for example, on the opening day, that was a tough one to take because of the result, but our defending was not on the level where it should be, to be honest. But in terms of how we played with the ball, I think it was all right. And this is where you started after the game to realize, okay, you're playing now with the big boys, in a Premier League, and you have to improve. And then we had this game against West Ham. We played Newcastle after Liverpool at home, where we showed a really good performance. We won 3-1, I think, or something. And then we went to West Ham, or we played Chelsea at home. I don't know anymore. I think we played Chelsea at home and lost 3-2, showed also good performance. And then we went to West Ham, where we thought, okay, if we show a performance like Chelsea or against Newcastle, we will have a good game today, or at least get some points. And we played very good, but then had most of the times the ball, what was typical for us. But yeah, you play again in the Premier League now, and they had 2 chances and they scored 2 times, and this is where it counts, you know. And this is where I realized, okay, the stadium amazing, the pitch good, you had a good game, but anyhow you lost today. You lost 2-0, you know, and you sit in a dressing room. You had control of the game most of the times. You dominated the ball, but they scored 2 times more than you, and so you lost the game. And that was the biggest difference in the Premier League, to be honest. And yeah.
Are you a shirt swapper, Tom? You've never told me that before. Do you swap
Never.
shirts?
Never.
Why?
Never. Because I'm not the guy who's interested in getting any shirts or anyhow.
Okay.
I never went to someone and asked for a shirt, even not in the Premier League. It was never something I did. Now I started a little bit to ask, no, not to ask, but I know a lot of people who are playing former teammates in the second tier in Germany. This is more like, you know, we are friends, we know each other, then you share. But I was never asking for a shirt of a player.
Interesting indeed. Right. Highs, the wow moments in the Premier League, and we have to talk about it, Tom. That's it. Have a sip of water. It's about to get difficult. We have to talk about the lows now. Where did it start to go wrong for you? Because as you've said there, Tom, you had a really good string of games in the Premier League where I know we weren't getting necessarily the results, but my opinion, genuinely, I believe that you played really well and you deserved to keep your place in the team. So where did it start to go wrong for you at Norwich City?
Yeah, it was tough. I was struggling sometimes, like you mentioned. So where I had some good games, but we didn't get the result, and I was anyhow had the feeling I was most of the times one of the players who got swapped immediately. You know, so where other players got more credit. That was my feeling anyhow. And but yeah, so where it went wrong was probably after the big break, after when the pandemic started, because we had a chat. I think our last game was against Tottenham in the cup, in a full stadium. We played a really good game. I was also a good game. I had a good game, and we won at the end in penalties. And so that was my last game in front of the crowd. I can remember in the Norwich City shirt.
Wow.
And then after the pandemic, I prepared myself to be on a top level because I knew there will be not much time when you're coming back, and they decide to kick on the league again. So I prepared myself, to be in a really good shape, you know, because I wanted to play. We had a break of 6 or 7 weeks, and then we had our first game against Southampton. And I think so I have to mention in this year, and when we were in the Premier League, we had a decent run in the cup, and I played most of the games.
Yeah.
So, and Tottenham, like I mentioned, we won this game, and that was on, I don't know anymore, on a Tuesday, like cup games normally are on a Tuesday or Wednesday anyhow. And on the weekend, we should have played Southampton. And I think that was my time where and during the week, you can see already who is in the starting 11 or who's not. And I was in the starting 11, and I should have started, I think, against Southampton. So, okay. And then the big break came of 6 or 8 weeks. I don't know anymore. And that was then we prepared ourselves, and we came back to Coney when everything was safe. And then I was playing from the beginning against Southampton behind closed doors. And it wasn't my best game, to be honest. We lost 3-0, and I didn't look good in one goal we conceded, to be honest. And from this point, I think I have to be honest, I didn't play much anymore. And then the game, we had a game against Man United, also in the FA Cup, because we won against Tottenham, and I didn't play. And I think this was the moment where I was really, really disappointed, because I was one player who was also part of a good campaign in a FA Cup, who also brought us to this game, showed some good performances, and I didn't play. And this was the moment where I was really disappointed. And then I got another chance against Chelsea, not against Chelsea, sorry, against Arsenal, where we lost 4-0, and I got substitute at halftime, where we were back already 2-0. And so all in all, this was the time where it was very, very difficult, to be honest.
So that was the difficult period where things start to go wrong. So let's fast forward slightly to basically the end, because and the end sort of isn't the end, as I'm sure we'll go into in just a minute or so. But how did it end, Tom? And who said what to who and when and why? Because Norwich fans still don't really know. Why did Tom Trybull end up, for example, training with the under-23s? And how did that make you feel?
Yeah, so basically it was, I can't tell you. So that was like, they told me they wanted to do something new on this position. After 3 years, they decided to do something new. And I was really disappointed, because I think everyone knew what kind of strength I can be, or what performances I can deliver, especially in the championship. And also I know, I was knowing Daniel for 3 years. I was working with him for 3 years. I knew the system in and out, and to bring them back, also to be a part of the team, to bring back the Premier League to the promotion or the playoffs at least. And so I was really, really disappointed. And also then how it was ending with training then with the under 23s. This is where I say, I think that was also a little bit disrespectful, because a player who's serving for the club like 3 years, I always gave my everything for the club, so I gave everything I had for the club. I was always fighting in the yellow and green shirt, and every season I had an injury. It was not because I'm lazy with my body, it was because I gave everything I had on the pitch, and then to get the message, you're not allowed anymore to train with the first team, was I was
Tom,
very disappointed.
Tom, if you don't mind me asking, who said to you you're not with the first team anymore?
I think it was Daniel, when we had a chat. So because Daniel said, okay, the club decided we wanted to do something new, and the club said, okay. Daniel said, it was a little bit like, okay. So the result was, at the end, they wanted to do something new. They wanted to do something new, and we have to say, if we are honest, at the end, it was also working. So you won the title.
Sure.
So, and you brought in with Ollie Skip a really good player who showed some decent performances. But I think at the end, it was just unlucky. If I'm not the part anymore of the team, or if I should go for something else, or the club wanted to do something new, is fine. But I think that they sent me to the second team was not the right way.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with you that it was a disrespectful move, definitely. So to confirm, Tom, you definitely wanted to stay at Norwich City Football Club, and you feel that you did all the right things to stay at the football club.
Yes, sure. Yes, sure. Because I always gave everything for the club. You know, I always gave everything for the club. And even if I had this difficult period, the summer break is also there to clear off the head, you know, to get a fresh mindset. And I always love to play for the club and for the team, you know, and it was always my intention to stay because my family, Anna, me, we always felt so comfortable in Norwich and around Norfolk. So there was no point for us to leave.
Yeah. Well, look, it's good to hear that you wanted to stay, albeit it's sad that you didn't. Tom, we could go on forever in many different angles, but I actually just want to mix things up now, and I want to ask you what you're thinking is almost I guess you still support the team now, Tom.
Sure.
So what is it like for you watching Norwich City this season? Why do you think it's not worked? And how did you feel, for example, when Daniel Farke got sacked? Did that surprise you?
Yeah, the moment when they sacked him, well, I was a little bit surprised because I think the day before they won against Brentford, the first game in the league, and I had a little bit the feeling, okay, this could be the turnaround now to win more games to get to get some more points at least. And so next day they sacked him, and was quite disappointed. And one thing I wanted to mention is, so I have not regarding Daniel Farke, you know, even when he got sacked after Brentford, I was sending him a message or I was calling him. So,
Good.
you know, because there's no bad relationship between us, you know, it's everything is fine. I'm not the guy who is still negative or something, you know. What happened happened, and that's also football business. So that's why I was also not shocked is the wrong word. It's everything can happen in football. So I sent him a message and or was calling him, and so and this season that they are doing not that well, or that they got relegated already to the championship, back to the championship. I expected also a little bit more, to be honest, because especially after the investments or after the transfers they did last summer, and they had some better chances or fighting for a longer period at least to stay in the league. And it didn't happen. But or that they learned out of the first season when we got relegated to the back to the championship, and this is what I have missed a little bit. Anyhow, the progress. It didn't look like that you are, in the mix till the end to fight for to stay in the Premier League, and it looked like a little bit okay. They had no chance really. Anyhow, they had I think after Dean Smith came in a good run of games where they gained some points, right? Where they gained some points, and but this was just a short period. And anyhow, if you want to stay in the league, you have to you have to a little bit more show a little bit more consistency. Anyhow, in terms of getting points, and this is what I couldn't understand, you know, because our first season, you know, we had after the pandemic, we had no chance, and we deserved to go down. And that's why I thought, okay, this season, you know, they get the chance immediately again. Nothing happened, and that's why I was a little bit wondering and a little bit disappointed that they couldn't, stay in the league.
A favorite player from this current team, Tom? When you watch Norwich City, is there a particular player in the current Norwich City team that you go, yeah, I really like him. He's a good player.
I think Norman. So when I watched the first few games, he was playing very well, and I liked his attitude. I liked the how he picks passes, you know. So, but I think he was struggling also, around winter anyhow with some injuries, and couldn't continue anyhow. And they missed him a lot. I think, because especially in the beginning he played a crucial part or was important. And yeah, otherwise, obviously, I know Timo. I played a lot of games with Timo. I think he scored double figures again this season. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that simply shows also his quality. This is a progress, I think. You know what I mean, in comparison, anyhow, to his first season. And I think I'm not sure how many goals he scored, but when I watched the games, he looked more confident in the Premier League. He scored, and it was a little bit. He was the light. I think he was a star in this team. Is my feeling anyhow. That he was doing a good job. And so Timo was always someone with his movements and the way he's moving in the box, where I like to watch him, because if I go through the starting 11, there are not many players, to be honest, who I played with. Sammy is still there, Tim Krul, Max, yeah, if he's playing, Grant, that four, and on the
Christoph.
wings, Christoph, yeah, but Christoph is injured, I think. And then you have Rashika, and who's on the other wing? I don't know who is it.
PP, Sargent.
Yeah, so I don't know these players, and so yeah, I don't know. So that's why I'm more like looking for players I played with, I shared the dressing room with.
Tom, I'm gonna finish on this because I think it's really important to do so, because I don't think you really got the chance to properly say bye to Norwich City Football Club. And as you know, thousands of people, Norwich fans in, of course, Norfolk and all over the world, will be watching and listening to this now. So I'm going to hand it over to you. What is your message to the Norwich City fans that chanted Super Tommy Trybull in the stands and loved that Leeds United away performance and all of your other great performances in your time with us? What's your message to say thank you for their support?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you very much. The support we received, me and my family, from the first day we came to Norwich, we came to Norfolk. It was just incredible, to be honest. So it doesn't matter where we went, where did we go. When people talk to us, it always felt like one big family, to be honest. Everyone was so calm and so nice, and it was just nice to talk to people, to get the reception of them. And so they made us feel home from the first day on, when you go to the stadium and you have a chat, when you went to the stadium and you had a chat with them after the game, it was simply nice, and I just hope that anyhow we will meet again one day, and because it was just a bummer that I couldn't say properly anyhow goodbye, because we had the games behind closed doors, and it was just an unlucky situation with the pandemic, in terms of saying goodbye. And it was a special time, and I wish the club that they calm down things a little bit now, if they're going back to the championship now, that they hopefully going up to the Premier League, and that they can stay for a longer time in the Premier League, because this is what I always said. People in and around Norwich deserve, because all the time we played at home, the stands and supporters, they support the team, and they're so helpful and respectful to the team if you identify with the club, and if you have the heart on the right place, and they always appreciate it. And that's why I think they deserve football on the highest level, year in and year out. So and hopefully that we can see us one day again.
Tom, I need to stop you there because you're going to make me emotional. Matey, on behalf of all the Norwich fans that are like Super Tommy Trybull, thank you for everything that you've done for the football club. Thank you for giving your absolute all every single time you're on the pitch. You really did bleed yellow and green, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you so much for coming on, Tom. And as you say, we hope to see you again sometime soon.
No, thank you, Chris, for having me and to share a little part of my story with you guys, and also in behalf of Anna, of my wife, I can say we had a decent time in Norwich, and you will always have a place in our heart. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much to everyone watching and listening. Of course, thank you to our sponsors. We're forever grateful. If you've enjoyed this Super Tommy Trybull exclusive, do let us know. We are at Talk Norwich City on social media. Give us a 5-star on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, however you watch and listen. Give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And finally, Super Tommy Trybull, what is the last thing to say?
See you soon.
On the Ball City.
Not on the Ball City. Yeah.
Yay!
On the Ball City. Yeah.